I really appreciate this. I want to give you some space to talk about your current project and what your role is at Boterra, and what excites you most about what you're doing with them.
GTE, or Green Tech Enterprises Boterra, were clients of mine going back to 2018. They've opened up a position for me, so I've brought my consulting kind of in-house to GTE Boterra, where we are designing a 70,000 square foot ground-up cultivation and manufacturing facility that will be, compliant with GMP, CGMP across the boards, GMP, GACP, so good agricultural collection practices. We're really designing the building around those parameters, and we'll have those reporting systems in place from the get-go. So the opportunity to kind of build a facility that, I've always talked about, is sort of the dream come true. Right, and
Excellent.
So
that's really neat. Can you explain, in your words, on the receiving side, how Vanguard is assisting in this?
Oh, well, so Vanguard is instrumental in helping to design and supply equipment for the entire lab, from extraction to refinement to the quality lab itself, in terms of product testing and diagnostics. So we'll have the full suite of sort of services, that's provided by Vanguard, sort of on site there at our facility. We'll be working, really side by side to onboard subject matter experts, to bring in extraction professionals and personnel. Really, we'd like to sort of bring our people and put them through the Vanguard training program and have you basically help us on site when it comes to installing the equipment, commissioning the equipment, and ensuring that our SOPs are in place. So I think you'll see that this is probably an ability for Vanguard to really showcase their full potential, or your full potential, in the Northeast market. So I'm looking forward to working on that opportunity together.
So are we.
Good. Okay.
Your last comment brings me to the next question that I had for you, which is what factors kind of led you to initially consulting with Vanguard, and what value propositions do you see in a company like Vanguard for you as a consultant?
Oh, great. So, and I think it's as a consultant, but also what can we bring to the industry and to clients working together. It's been very multifaceted. So as a consultant, I've actually stood behind a lot of social equity companies and helped them to get licensing. And so those wins have been very exciting, in different states. Maryland, where Vanguard was instrumental in helping to secure a license. That's an 80% woman and minority owned business. It was a hard battle in Maryland, but it looks like they're going to win that. And so thanks to Vanguard and for really kind of bringing that package in to help them out. So that I think was a real value that was brought to the table there. We've also worked with clients in New Jersey. We've worked with clients in Massachusetts, and I don't know anyone who's just in the equipment supply and procurement side of this business who's that heavily involved with clients early on. I found out about Vanguard through a group that I was working with in Massachusetts at the time. Was able to see the technology firsthand and was very impressed with the MIDAS system. So it started there. It branched to contacting you and Matt and other members of the team, starting to develop a relationship and starting to say, hey, listen, we're reaching across this desert and we're speaking the common language, right? We're speaking this language of CGMP. We understand what LIMS means, integrated management systems for laboratories. Those sorts of things that exist in biotech and pharma that we want to start applying to the industry is something that I think is of mutual interest to both of us, and something that the market is demanding now and will be demanding more in the future, without question. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Specifically, what would you say is the highest value proposition that Vanguard brings to a consultant like you?
But Vanguard brings not just the equipment, but can walk in the door and help work on things like process piping, fire code compliance, and then from there, once the equipment's installed, helping to review and create SOPs, helping to do on-job training, on-site training, obviously commissioning of the equipment, helping clients to achieve their KPIs, and through integration of basic quality management systems all the way to electronic batch records to ensure repeatability and reduce to no failure rates. Right.
Well, thank you. I can't tell you how satisfying it is to hear on the client side the things that we brainstorm about that we imagine will be needed in the industry and that we work hard to present to people.
Right.
So thank you for that.
And people are buying into it, right? So they're seeing those results. They're seeing the real risks that are posed by not having these systems in place, and are more and more readily adopting this approach. So.
I've heard both an ounce of prevention is worth a pound
there's
of
no
cure,
question about it.
But certainly in a more specific way, $3 of prevention prevents $10 of loss.
You've got it. That's it. That's what the talk today that Brian Anderson and David Valancourt and Matt Anderson. I think that's really the main point that they were driving home. Is it's better to take the time and attention to really build the facilities correctly, to put the quality management systems in place, to have compliance and oversight really from the get-go, to ensure that you achieve your KPIs, assure that you achieve maximum efficiency in your operations, as well as reduce to no failure rates whatsoever. Right. So, yeah, that's the goal.
As you've moved in from biopharma and you've seen this market, you have kind of an objective set of eyes and a unique perspective. What are the interesting things that you've seen about our market, and where do you kind of see the cannabis market heading?
Okay. I think we can still anticipate the arrival of FDA involvement, right, at some point in time, and we should all be getting ready for that. I think if we look sort of the 5-year plan going forward, where is this headed? Again, let's look to other mature industries and where those industries are in terms of their technology, and start thinking about how we can apply that to cannabis, right? So things like automation, right? Robotics, automated reporting systems, buildings that are run on machine learning and artificial intelligence. That's where I think it's headed. Yeah, that is the future, I think, because other companies in horticulture are doing that as we speak, right? So automated reporting systems, all this will tie together. So when we have the control systems in the buildings talking to the reporting systems and to QMS, and there's going to be that feedback loop. Right now they're kind of separated. I think in the future those will all be part of one cohesive program. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. In conclusion here, can you offer what your thoughts are on the future of the industry as a whole? And then what are some of the things you think might be the most exciting things that will be unveiled 2 years from now, 5 years from now?
Right. Well, we've touched on sort of the AI, robotics, automation piece, right? So I think that's definitely coming. So I think there are a variety of perspectives. One is, I hope sincerely that there will be more, that research will open up, right? So whether this is THC is descheduled or not, we'll see. At least hopefully we'll see some relaxation on 280E and on our ability to do in-house research, even at the state legal cannabis level, right? That's certainly an interest of mine, to continue to do plant biology, push the limits of what we're doing now with plant genetics. Let's remember that when we think of GMO, we think of that's a very bad term, but there are ways of doing sort of what we call reverse genetics in plants. What we typically do is forward genetics, right? Where we're just breeding males and females, creating seeds, and going from there. There are ways to sort of speed up that process using genes native to the plant, which can assist in preventing the spread of disease, which can assist in producing specific medicinal compounds of interest, right? And let's not forget that this plant has, over 150 compounds, many of which have medicinal application. So there's companies like Flavicure that have a specific cannabis-derived flavonoid that are in clinical trials now. Very promising drug to help treat metastatic prostate cancer. And that's just one case. So I think you'll see more and more of that happening. I think the more that we can actually free up research on this, the more sort of promising medicinal applications will come of that. So that's my hope for the future. I think we'll see, you know, for better or worse, I think pharma is going to be playing a big role. Big tobacco, already playing a role, will play a big role. And really figuring out how we're going to marry the industry as it is today with those industries is, I think, sort of the work for the next 5 years. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hoffman. Absolute pleasure having you on.
Likewise.
And Vanguard looks
here.
forward to working with Botera on that project and future projects that you have going on.
Okay, wonderful. Same here.